is up, guys? Illinois Outdoorsman, and today we're going to continue on the flipping. Hopefully you guys have been practicing. Sorry, I got a weird light. It's bright. Don't have my sunglasses on. Practicing your flipping over the last 2 weeks or so. Today we're going to take it a step further and start. Now we've got the mechanics down, we're going to start picking targets. I'll turn the camera around here in a second, you guys, and I got 3 targets set up here. 2 of them are, one's super close, one's a little bit further away, then one's got a bunch of stuff I put around it. We're going to really kind of pinpoint on that one. And then we're also we have flipping, and then we're going to pitch. I've probably got them backwards, but one's where you pull your line out and you're holding your line. It's a real gentle presentation. And one you're going to be able to kind of use your rod to get it out there. It's not, you can roll cast it, but get it in there nice and gentle like. So let me turn this camera around and I'll show you guys the targets we got in my backyard. Target number 1, we're going to use this piece of conduit here, and then we're going to come over here. Target number 2, it's right here by this bird feeder. It's going to be, we're going to look at 10 yards on this target, 3 or 4 on the other one, and this one right here is one we're going to have some junk around. It's kind of set back in here by the slide under my kid's swing set with cage, tomato cage around it. So we're gonna have to get inside that tomato cage without. I'm gonna twist this just a little bit and make it a little harder from where we're at. So we got that center post there too. We want to get it. The object of this is to get as close to the post as possible and really learn on that control, I guess, that I'm going to call it throttle control, that thumb control, as you let that line go, as you let that lure go. Really learn to control the speed of it. This first one I'm going to be able to almost touch with my rod, so I'm going to have to back up a little bit. But just that, control your lure, control your entrance, your presentation, make it as gentle as possible. You don't want to slam a 3/4 ounce jig into somewhere. You want it to sneak in there. So that's what this presentation's about, is being sneaky, being smooth, being as realistic as possible. So I'm going to set this camera up so you guys can watch and hopefully be able to practice a little bit more, especially with the spawn coming up here in the north. We're just beginning of April now, so at beginning of April they should start pushing up as it's starting to warm up. I think we got 75 on Monday. Right now we got bluebird skies. There's chemtrails everywhere but no clouds, so it's nice. They're going to start spawning. They're going to start pushing up, really feeding heavy if they haven't already started. So let's turn this camera around. Let's keep practicing. All right, you guys, like I said, we're practicing in the backyard here. We're still under our quarantine, and hopefully I'll be able to get out this Friday. I got this coming Friday, Good Friday off, so be able to get out, do a little fishing, using the same setup as I was before my frog rod. This will get switched out to a jig, so we're using a frog, 7'10", heavy action quantum rod. Drew a blank there for a minute, 50-pound braid on a quantum nitrous reel. So first up, you got to remember your basics here. We're going right on that post right in front of you guys. So we're just bringing it in there. That was a little hard. I got a little bit of a knot in here. So, yep, that's it. Make it worse. Let's not do that. Maybe put a little bit more oil in here. And turn my brake back down. There we go. There it is. Okay, so practice your basics, and I overshot that one. I can almost touch it with this rod, so it's a little hard. So I'm within 3 inches of that. Now you got to work on your, once you get your target acquisition down, I guess, how are you doing your basic mechanics, and you got to work on being gentle with it. It might also be easier. It's definitely easier when you start roll casting, just to tie on just a weight by itself, and then you can practice skipping it across the concrete, skipping base, roll casting, and get there, and be able to learn that skip and get that roll down. But we're going to work on targets here. The other thing I want to show you guys is going to be the same thing as flipping. You're obviously going to flip that out there. Is you're going to get your same amount of line down here. You're going to want to keep that lure right about there. You're going to pull this extra out. This is going to be real delicate. You just kind of use your rod tip, and as your lure goes, you let this line go with it. So as you bring it up, dip your rod, let the line go. Makes it a really, really gentle procedure, real gentle entry to the water. I know it probably doesn't sound like it, but you can just get right in there, and it almost no splash at all, you guys. So let me move the camera, and we're gonna practice pitching, not flipping. Probably get backwards, but we're gonna practice pitching to the other two targets we got set up. All right, you guys, I know you can't see me right now, but we're gonna practice this and I just kind of wanted you to see the target there. So we're going to get it in there. It's a real gentle procedure. I don't know why I'm calling it a procedure, but a real gentle, finesse kind of way to fish this. Fish heavy cover. You just kind of get it in there, and it'll just drop right in there. And as you let that line out, you take some of the momentum away from that lure and help slow it down, because now it doesn't have anything flinging it. It loses that momentum. It's just the weight of the lure. Hopefully you guys can hear me halfway well. I'm 20 feet from the camera. If not, I'll play with the audio. As you get it in there, you can really be gentle about your cast in there, your pitch in there. Alright, you guys, so I know you couldn't see very much of me in that last little bit, but there's a post right there that I just put in and walked into it. I just wanted you guys to be able to see that kind of entry as that lure comes in, that you can be real gentle with it. You don't want to make a big splash with this. You want it to sneak in there. These are for fish that are super pressured. You don't want them to know they're there, especially now with this quarantine going on. Once everybody gets out, there's going to be fishermen and women everywhere trying to fish, so the fish are going to be super pressured. So you're going to have to get into spots that nobody else is going to. Those real nasty, thick spots that nobody wants. And you're going to have to punch through that stuff, but through the weeds and everything else. But at the same time, you got to be as natural as possible, as those fish are going to see every lure under the sun. They're going to see every presentation there is out there, top water, bottom, crankbaits, jigs, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, everything. They're going to see it all, and they're going to learn to ignore it. So you got to be as precise and as natural as possible and you got to get back there quiet. So everybody knows fish can hear. They're gonna feel that lateral line, everything else. My beard looks like crap. They're gonna know something's up. So you want to be as covert as possible. So with that being said, now we're gonna kind of mix things up and try and get inside. That's way too close. Try and get inside this tomato cage without hitting the cage. That's gonna be the goal. Get to the post without hitting the cage. As you guys can see on that one, I just kind of wrapped up in that cage. That skirt caught it. But this one we want precision just outside the cage. We want to get all the way in there without banging the cage. And here in a post, no cage. I know you guys can hear that tink, that hook smacking that post. And there's cage. Don't want that one. It was too high. Boom, right inside. Right inside. Alright, you guys, so hold on here. There we go. Alright, so I know you guys could hear, you could tell when I hit the cage and when I didn't hit the cage. When I hit that post, you got that nice little ting to it. When I did catch the cage, you could hear that kind of rattle. It's a tomato cage. You know what it sounds like when you drop a tomato cage on the ground. That kind of rattle to it. When you fling it, what I'm using is conduit, 1/2-inch conduit. So when you kind of ping it, you can feel it. So you can definitely tell the difference in them. Let me fold the legs up on this. All right, there we go. Now I'm not gonna hit myself with them. But yeah, you guys, as you practice on your fundamentals of flipping, you can also do your pitching where you're using the line, and pitching is gonna be a lot closer quarters, especially backwater stuff like that, where you're trying to get way underneath something, but be as quiet as possible. You don't have the room to flip your rod out there. You're just kind of using your rod to start that momentum, and then let your line out, let the weight of the lure carry itself, but make it quiet. You're not roll casting it under there. Roll casting we will get to. It'll be something we do on the water. It's a lot easier to show you on the water, but it's rolling it. It's almost like swinging a baseball bat and a golf club at the same time. You got both those mechanics coming in there to drive that lure way back up under cover, docks, bushes, what have you, way under there where people aren't getting to. So these tips, you guys, practice them, especially when you can't get out. Practice them now, so when you do get out, you can go out there and make the most of your time, catch as many fish as possible, and catch those quality fish that are shoved way back up under cover, away from prying eyes. Go pry on them. Go get them fish out of there. Get the big ones, let's see them. If you guys enjoyed this video, I know it's kind of turning into a series. I'm not trying to, it's just trying to give you guys some content to help kill the boredom of quarantine. So if you guys enjoy this, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I don't know which side it'll be on. Subscribe, make sure you turn on that bell. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And then if you guys are able to get out, or you're just out doing something and you think it's a beautiful day, or you see deer or what have you, or you got that giant fish you want to show off, use the hashtag Illinois_outdoorsman on Instagram, and I'll let Cameron pick a couple of nice ones. We'll make a collage, some of his favorites, and we'll see who all makes it. Give you guys a shout out on Instagram. So make sure you guys drop that too. And until next time, I'll see you out there.